Now he's played football at the highest level. He holds the record for most headed goals in the Premier League history and has 42 caps for England.
But now Peter Crouch is on a mission to save grassroots football. In his new series, he returns to his old club, Dulwich Hamlet, in the hopes of saving it from going under.
Oh, Peter joins us now. It's so lovely to see you. And, I mean, this is such an important club to you, really. I mean, as you said there in the promo, it sort of shaped who you were as a player.
Yeah, it did. Like I say, I was at Tottenham and I was struggling to sort of make the first team. I went on loan to Dulwich and it was a very different level to what I was used to, but it really sort of toughened me up and I learned how to win and how important it was to so many. And, yeah, so it was nice to be able to go back and sort of give a bit back and help a club that helped me.
There's more than a touch of Ted Lasso about this, isn't there, really? Because it was in you come, you get a phone call from Ben, the boss, asking you for help. You have zero knowledge of that side of football.
Yeah, completely new experience. And I think sort of the first 3 episodes, you can see that I'm sort of finding my way. And it really sort of, like, hit me hard, really. Like, I've been at sort of a certain level for a long, long time, and then to go down there, especially after COVID had hit, and, you know, the only source of revenue, really, at the football club is the match day experience, like people buying drinks, food, tickets. So when that was taken away from them, like, the club was decimated, like so many grassroots-level clubs, really. So, yeah, going back there was a real eye-opener, and I was doing things that, obviously, I'd not been used to doing, and helping out in all areas. You've all got to muck in.
So there was, I mean, you sort of look at a club like that and you saw those chaps there talking about it, and this is more than just going to watch a game of football. This is sort of an identity, this is a community, this brings so much. So if you were to take that away, there would be so many people that would struggle.
Yeah, and that's what we've, you know, over the course of the series, it became about, it was at Dulwich at first, and then it became about the wider picture of football in general, really.
Yeah.
And the struggles, you know, we saw it recently. I think Tracy Crouch has got an independent review into football as a whole, from Premier League down, and grassroots is the level we're looking at. But I went up to Bury, and Bury FC, I don't know if you know, but, you know, it's finished. I mean, it ceased to exist. You know, people are coming in, or owners are coming in and being able to do what they like with football clubs, and then that rips the local community apart, rips the fans apart. They haven't got, you know, 100-year-old grandparents have taken their kids and their kids' generation.
You said that when you
and that's ripped away, you know.
You met the Bury fans, and it was really quite emotional.
Yeah, it was emotional. Yeah, you know, as a football person, you know, I can only imagine being a fan your whole life, and generations have gone to that particular stadium, and that, you know, as we walked in there was a girl. It was the club photographer, and she's burst out crying, and it was quite emotional, sort of seeing how upset she was, and, you know, to think about football fans up and down the land if their club was gone.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that, how you'd feel. It was horrendous.
So whatever it takes, quite frankly, then, to raise the funds. And one thing you did, which you've never done before, is a bit of stand-up. How was that?
Well, yeah, that was... I mean, listen, you know, I was trying to raise some money for the women's team, and, yeah, I was asked to do a little bit, and it wasn't really stand-up. They told me a few gags and I read them out. But...
It's stand-up.
Yeah, maybe. But, it was good fun, and it raised a lot of money, so that was the main thing.
So what is going to be, maybe not just for your club, but for all of these clubs that are struggling now? There isn't a silver bullet, I'm assuming. There's only a certain amount of money around. Not everyone has a figurehead like you to get in there and raise the profile. What do they do? What are you going to do?
That's it. I mean, like, even when I was creating awareness of it now, it's like no club, like Dulwich Hamlet, for instance, no club wants to hand out. Obviously, there's a lot of money in the Premier League. We're not asking for any money. It's just not to be hampered if they progress. So, for instance, if we get a promotion, it might cripple the club, because you then have to improve your stadium, you have to rip up the pitch, you can't sell alcohol on a match day, so all the revenue is ripped away, and so for progressing, you then struggle, and like, for me as a football person, going in there, I was like, so you get punished for promotion. And, like, that just doesn't seem fair. It doesn't seem right. So there's little things like that, if we can address and just give the smaller clubs a chance to progress on the ladder to get where they want to be, then, you know, that's all we're asking, not for handouts or anything like that, you know, just to be self-sufficient.
Prince William also is interested in this. Obviously, he's a big football fan. He's chairman of the FA, and so he came down and spoke to you about it. Yeah,
it was amazing. Obviously, like you say, he's the president of the FA, and Tracy Crouch and Prince William came down, and it was amazing to have them down there and sort of just to explain. And even away from the cameras, it was nice to be able to just, like, chat and about what we think should happen, and because obviously this is a big bill that could potentially pass through. The government have recognised it now. So I think somehow we are creating a change for the better, which I was hoping to help one particular club, but if we can along the way help the rest, and I think with my help and obviously Prince William got on board and Tracy Crouch, I think we are making inroads.
And do you think that Prince William, holding that position, that he personally is crossed enough, sympathetic enough to make changes for you or on your behalf?
Well, that's it. I think just having him involved, obviously, the awareness goes so much bigger. But he's a football fan, and obviously I've been lucky enough to spend time with him when I've played for England at World Cups and various bits and pieces that I've done. And I know he's a real football fan and he enjoys it and he wants to see it be better. And I think with his help,
did he do your podcast as well?
He did come on it. Yeah. It was interesting. Went to Kensington Palace. That was an experience. And yeah, it was. He was amazing on it. Yeah.
And I mean, the podcast has just done incredibly well. I mean, it's got such a huge following, and you're doing all right when Elton John himself rings you and asks to be on it.
Yeah, the same with Prince William. I didn't ask Prince William to come on, but he came on, and then Elton John's story came out of the blue because we mentioned him on the podcast, and then I'd heard that he might be calling me, so I was in the car. And I got a number from a home phone number in Windsor, so I thought it might be him. So I answered, and so hi, Peter, it's Elton, and I heard you speaking about me on the podcast, and I'd love to come on. And I said, all right, Elton, I'll see if I can fit you in.
so this is when you say I'm off to work now. That's what you're doing. That's
like I say, I had football was my life, that was my career, and then everything I'm doing now is fun. And I'm just going with it, and it seems to be taking me on bizarre paths like that, and I'm enjoying it.
Well, it's about to get bizarrer because you've just landed a job on the Masked Dancer.
Yes, I have, yeah. Another one where I just, it's not something that I thought would ever happen, but I've really, really enjoyed it. My kids love it.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'm sitting next to all these, television greats like yourself, and Jonathan Ross, Davina McCall, people that have done it for so long.
Yeah.
And then there's me, and I'm watching a tomato dancing.
Thinking this is where it's ended up. I love what you're doing for grassroots football.
Yeah, well
Save
done.
Our beautiful game. It is available now. It's on Discovery Plus. Support your local football clubs, and it's lovely to see.
Oh, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.